Welcome back to my garden. How are you all today from fabulous Queensland in Australia? A little bit cooler than normal. It's around 30 degrees, so that's really nice for us. The heat of our summer is slowly dimming as we will head to more acceptable temperatures, I guess. I'd like to talk to you though about a little plant that grows in my garden, grows really easily in my garden. This is called a desert rose. Now, it's actually a poisonous plant. It's part of a species of subtropical and tropical plants that are native to southern Arabia and southern Africa at the same time. However, they are a robust little plant. There's 3 of them here in this garden. I'll let you know they've probably only been in, I don't know, less than a year. They were about 100 centimetres tall when I put them in, and already they've actually flowered. Now, I really wasn't aware till I started growing them, but this on top is the flower pod from these particular plants. So I thought, okay, let's see how easy these are to grow. And when those seed pods open, this is what you'll see inside. So you can see here all the individual little seeds, which I'm now going to put into some trays with potting mix. As you can see here, this is one of the seed trays that I put those little seeds into. So we've got a little one in here, and we've got one here as well, and one just trying to push through in here. So these, as seeds, have been in here for about 8 weeks. I would say they've taken about 8 weeks. There's been no care put to them. They actually sit at the front of the shade house. There's not a great deal of water, because this is something you've got to remember with desert roses. And I've had a few people ask me, how do you grow them, because they have trouble. First thing you need to remember is neglect, and more neglect, because desert roses don't like a fuss. First of all, a lot of people overwater them. That's a big mistake. They can actually live in bad soil with a little bit of rock in it, and they don't actually need watering. They are better and much healthier when they are living without water. So this is the great thing about a desert rose. You cannot kill it unless you overwater it. Find a plant, pop it into your garden. Yeah, water it in. I water everything in. And then maybe 4 or 5 days later, water it again, and then leave it. Do not touch it. Don't be tempted to water it. I know sometimes people overwater, and I've been guilty of doing that very same thing myself. However, a desert rose does not need or want a lot of water. You can have magnificent plants in all different parts of your garden. They grow in pots. They're just fabulous plants, and they really are easy to grow. Get yourself one, get a small one, pop it in the garden, give it a water, and then just leave it. If you do live in a climate where you have an awful lot of rain, and I mean a lot of rain, you're probably better to put one in the pot where it has a little bit more shade. Pop it somewhere so it's not getting quite as much water. But once they start growing, they make a magnificent show, and the colours are spectacular. I was just looking at the back part of my shade house, and what I notice here is there's a desert rose actually growing in a pot where I am growing Australian native kangaroo paws. So look at it here. I never planted it there. I never intended it to be in that pot. However, the seeds will take extremely quickly. So there's another one from the seeds that I took, happily growing there alongside my fabulous kangaroo paws. This one's growing in a pot. Look at the absolutely gorgeous colour on it. I like to put desert roses in pots, because then if I forget about them or I go away and they're not watered, I know they're going to be fine when I get back. Have a fabulous day in your garden, no matter where you are in the world today.